So you want to create a character, and you want that character to look the same in every other sketch that you draw them in every other illustration that you draw them in. You want them to look as perfect as they should be because it looks like you're actually drawing the same character over and over again. Now, let's get this off the bat. It's difficult. It's really difficult to keep a character looking the same over and over again. Just look at certain ways professional artists draw their characters. You got Steven Universe. There are certain characters that look different depending on the artist or the animator who illustrates it. This is something that usually happens when there isn't a reference sheet that the person can look into, because, well, reference sheets are really important in wanting to create a character that looks like that character. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. So, the first and most important thing to do when creating a character is to, well, create a reference sheet. Now, this is, of course, before you created the character's concept. Now, creating a concept is its whole other thing. That this isn't like in the same league. Not that creating a concept is different or as difficult as a reference sheet. I'm not saying that a concept and a reference are the same thing. I'm saying that the most important thing in creating a character look the same as itself is a reference sheet. Now, what you want to have in a reference sheet, the most basic stuff is the size of the character, of course, what the character looks like, front facing, side facing, and back facing. You don't want to, guess. And its profile. You want to draw the character in different emotions and different facial features. You want to draw the character without and with the hair, because you want to make sure that the face shape is the same all around when drawing your character, especially if it's a project that you're working on professionally speaking. You want to be able to draw this character. So after you're finished with the reference sheet, you're going to want to sketch this character a lot. Like, it's going to be difficult, like the first few times you sketch them, but after time, it gets easier. And after time, you'll sketch the character in a way that you're more comfortable with. What I mean is, the initial reference isn't going to be the same. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but you're going to find a way to draw your character a lot quicker and a lot easier and a lot more consistent than how you originally drew them. Because when you originally draw a character, it's very rigid, because this is the first time you're drawing them. Well, hypothetically speaking, maybe this character was drawn in a different way back then, maybe like a few years ago when you were conceptualizing them. That's not a word. Conceptualizing them. You know what I mean. So, of course, you're going to draw them a lot. A good thing to do when drawing this character, like sketches and stuff, when drawing references to poses or facial features or emotions, you're going to want to, instead of drawing that person, that model who's doing the references, you're going to want to place your character in place of them. This is how I draw my characters when I don't know what else to draw, or when I want to practice how to draw my characters. It can be difficult at first because you're not looking at your character, you're looking at some random model who's doing these poses or these emotions in their faces. But it gets easier, because think of the models as a clean slate, and you want to replace that model with your character. And drawing your character in different poses and in different emotional, facial things. I'm not good with the words. You're helping yourself create your character more consistent, or helping yourself become more consistent, it helps to sketch out your character in poses and stuff like this, because when beginning to draw your character, you're not as consistent. And when you're not as consistent, your character isn't going to look consistent because you don't know how to draw them. Generally speaking, like, no one really knows how to draw their character when beginning, like, conceptualizing them. You only start to know how to draw your character after a few weeks or maybe like a month or something, because this is a new person that we've conceptualized on our own. We may have referenced certain things about them, like from different characters. Maybe you're creating an original character, or a Sona from a game or a community, and you're referencing, or you're taking pieces from this one character and you're putting it on your own character because you like it, and that's good and all, but you don't know how to draw that part because you've never drawn that part before. I just hope that I'm not confusing you, you know what I mean? I hope that you've taken the stuff down and, jotted notes and things, because it's difficult to draw a character when you don't know how to draw a character. That's all I wanted to say. Another thing to help you, instead of just doing references, is drawing on your own. Just illustrating random things with your characters, just doing normal life stuff, or, fantasy things. Creating a personality for your character, because certain characters wouldn't be drawn in things that they wouldn't normally do. Such as, like, Army Man. Let's say that I have an original character, Army Man. His name is John, and he shoots stuff. He wouldn't be picking petals off of a flower, because that's not, what my John, the Army Man, would do, because he likes shooting guns. But, other characters would like to do that. Maybe Amy, the Army Woman, likes to do that. Or, this is all hypothetical fucking shit like that. Trying to create something like a reference point to what you would understand. Just draw your character in situations that they would get themselves into, or in a way that would make sense to that character, because it fleshes out their character. It fleshes out them, their personality, what they would do, how they would react to things. Just draw your character in situations, because it fleshes them out to you, and it fleshes them out to the viewer. And when creating a comic or an animation or a movie, if you want to make a movie, that's really cool. You want to create your character and put them in situations that would explain it to the viewer, and that would explain it to yourself, because you're still learning this character. You're still creating them, and you're still referencing them from the reference sheet, because you still don't know how to draw them, perfectly. And saying perfect, I don't mean like Michelangelo perfect, where he knows how to draw a character from scratch just from his head. I mean perfect as in perfect enough, enough to, draw the character without having to always look at the reference sheet. Sometimes you're going to look at it because you don't know how to draw the hair in this certain situation or this certain position. Sometimes you just don't know how to draw clothes on your character in certain ways because they look too weird, because, maybe you're drawing a character that's really thin and has baggy clothes and you don't know how to draw baggy clothes. It's all stuff like this. It's all things that you want to draw to make your character them. And that's important, because in order to create your character, you're going to have to draw them. And that's the main thing that I'm trying to say. Draw your character a lot. And that'll help you create a more consistent way to draw that character. I hope you took something from this video. I'm sorry for the AC in the background. Sometimes it turns on and off while I'm trying to create videos, but that's life. I hope you liked this video, and I hope it helped you in some way. It's a bit shorter than my usual videos, but this is my first time creating a video on my own in literal months, so, you know, expect more videos from me. Origin is making his own videos, but I hope you like this video. Thank you for watching. My name is Fox, and I'm out.